That was a lot sooner than I thought. Hi.
I know our timing's always a little off, but it makes it a little dramatic. Hi, Steph. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Happy Wednesday when you guys hear this.
Yes.
Happy
I'm
totally
doing well.
90s.
I know. Happy totally 90s. Oh my gosh. I swear. Um, yeah, ugh, I heard rain's supposed to be coming.
Not
Big
just
time rain.
rain. Yeah, it's like
Actually, maybe when
torrential.
people are listening on Wednesday, it's supposed
It's
to be like
it's supposed to
crazy.
be the worst day, and that's so funny because I was having just a grand old time taking like long walks today, and I was like,
Hmm.
it's so hot. Like, and I had the door and windows open when I got
Hmm.
home, and I was like, it's such a beautiful day today, and yesterday was beautiful too, and I think Saturday
Hmm.
too. So I'm like, this is great. And then I was like, I think Wednesday it's gonna be like the shit show.
I know. It's nuts. I was like, and I go to Sacramento that day, and of course
Oh,
it's in the afternoon, and Tony's like, no. I'm like, well, I don't know. It's always the thing like we anticipate it and then it just doesn't happen. Or it
right.
happens at night when we're asleep.
I
So,
really, really, really hope it's not so bad at night though, because we're going to a concert and it's
oh
hell
no.
getting an Uber after, but then add
Hmm.
rain on top of it. I'm gonna be so annoyed.
Do they charge more when it's raining, like the
Oh,
weather's bad?
doesn't probably, but like it's always
Oh.
like astronomical regardless, because
Mm-hmm.
everyone's got the same motive. So they
Mm-hmm.
know that they can go ahead and jack it up like quadruple the cost, and you're so
That's crazy.
desperate to get home, like you'll pay anything.
Oh,
But
totally.
so hopefully it's not too bad.
Where is it at?
It's just here at the Chase Center, so it's not too
Oh,
bad at
okay. That's
all.
not. What do you guys? Who are you guys gonna see?
Oh, we're gonna go see Pitbull again.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Hmm.
Yeah, he's just so good. So I'm excited to just see it again.
Well, that should be fun. But yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully it doesn't rain like crazy because I don't know. I mean, last year when what do they call it? That a certain type of storm.
Torrential?
No, it's like a something. Gosh, there's a name for atmospheric river.
Oh,
So they had that last year,
was
and
that just
last year
last year?
yeah, so last year when that atmospheric river came, it literally brought a river, it seems, to every freaking city and town
Oh my
in
God.
this in California, it seems. I don't know, but it was crazy. So hopefully it's not that crazy.
And do we know how long this thing's supposed to last?
I don't know, because they said like the week, but I'm seeing on my
Oh,
end that it's only going to be on Wednesday here, I
here's
think.
hoping.
But I don't know, because oh no, just kidding. Just kidding. This just in.
No.
This just in.
Oh no.
Right? And you have the perfect background for it. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, a
No.
break Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, rain.
Okay, see, we have reservations at Restoration Hardware, and the whole thing is
Oh,
like
snap.
beautiful, like windows and stuff, and it's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
fucking raining. Can't Mother Nature
Ooh.
wait?
So wait, do tell. Restitution. Ay Dios. Wait. Restoration hardware. Ooh, what are you guys looking for? Anything in
Restoration
particular?
Hardware is this beautiful, like old building, like in the
Mm-hmm.
dog patch, and it's now got a gorgeous restaurant inside of
Oh,
it.
so it's a restaurant because I know
Yeah,
there's a store for
yeah,
restoration hardware. So, oh my
yeah.
gosh, that's cool.
It's gorgeous. And
Aw.
we never went when they fixed it. We were still living in the neighborhood. And then, when you kind of just have things in the back of your head, like, we'll check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, I remember, and I was like, let me just make a reservation. And so, like, we have the reservation is this Friday. It's such a
Aw.
beautiful, I think it's like the Palm at Restoration, and you have to dress up. And it's just like the whole
Oh,
point.
that's
But
nice.
like, it's like all view, it's beautiful. I don't want to see
Mm-hmm.
gray and dark and
Yeah, for real. What time's your rest? I was gonna say, what time's your restitution? What time's your reservation?
It's at 7.
Oh, okay. Aw, I'm sure. Let's see. I don't know what the forecast is, but it's 40% rain, so maybe it won't
Ugh,
be that bad. And that's over here.
how
So maybe it'll be
rude.
nice. I know. Tell me about it. Speaking of how rude, Have you made any progress on Fuller House?
Yes, I need to stop crying. Okay. Like that show
Mm-hmm.
when she names her baby after her dad,
Mm-hmm.
and then of course DJ, and then names Kimmy the godmother. Shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Like I threw so, or like when she comes in with the baby before the baby's even named, and she
Mm-hmm.
looks at her dad, and she's like, "Do you want to meet your granddaughter?" In his face, like, get the fuck
Uh-huh.
out of here! Like I can't
No,
resist Bob Saget. So
I know.
like, yeah,
Yeah. And it's just like, and knowing too that it's still a trip that he's no longer here.
yeah, yeah. It's
So,
heart. It's it just breaks my heart that he's no longer here. So that's like the added like,
mm-hmm.
oh,
Oh
knife to
no.
the freaking
Mm-hmm.
heart. But I'm loving it. I never want it to end,
No,
ever.
for real. And honestly, like, okay, we all know it ended, obviously, but I feel like they did it right.
Okay,
Like
good.
the way that it all ended and how they're doing things, I really feel like shows in the future or shows that come back like
Yeah.
this one need to take a few lessons because it gives their viewers closure.
Okay. Okay.
So I think you'll be very happy and content with everything. I mean, I was not disappointed at all.
Okay, well, I'm excited. I mean, all
Yeah.
I what first also it's just, I'm glad I didn't have a human son because see, I when I would thought I wanted to have kids, I wanted a little boy.
Hmm.
But seeing Max grow up, like his
Hmm.
voice, like
I
they
know.
come back in season 5 and he looks like a little man and his voice has changed. I'm like, oh my
Uh-huh.
God, like I'm upset.
I know. And he is so cute. He
He's
really is.
adorable. I think he might be my
Hmm.
favorite character. He's such a little
Yeah.
dot.
And he's just funny. He's just cute. He has that sarcasm like Michelle did when she was little, like that
Yeah,
little,
but
like that way
cuter.
about her. Yeah,
Yeah.
completely.
Like
Because
he's
he was cute from
definitely
the
cute.
get-go.
From the like he's never stopped being cute.
No, not at all. And because see, I wasn't really a fan of the older one.
Yeah.
I can't remember
Oh,
his
he's
name, but
cute.
he grew on me. Yeah. At
Yeah.
first I was like, okay. Because, he's kind of was in that age, they're in that age too, where they're like, remind me of like Northwest,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
where you just want to punch the lights out,
Ugh.
right? Because that little girl's obnoxious.
She's
I'm
so
sorry, and I don't care if people
irritating.
could come for me. I don't give a crap. She's
Yeah.
obnoxious.
Well, she just
I,
looks rude and she's just a brat. Whereas
yeah.
little Chicago, I can never imagine her behaving in that
Oh, no,
manner.
not at all. That little face.
Yeah,
She
she's so
looks just
cute.
like Kimberly.
I know. That's why I
She,
love
like,
her.
honestly, she's like perfection.
She's
And
adorable.
North just, I don't know. Like, I don't know. To me, she'd be the little kid that you're at a restaurant and their mother's not putting them in their place and they're getting like, crazy. And she's just like, ha ha ha. Because I don't know if you saw a snippet of the clip in the episode last season where she was telling the designer everything she didn't like about his design for the Met Gala. That
Wow.
little chick needed to take a few seats. And Kim needed to be like, okay, excuse me, and take her to the other room and be like, either you're respectful or you're gonna go home.
Exactly.
Because the designer's like, oh my God. Like literally was speechless and was like, you're basically making me shit in my pants.
That's
Because she
horrible.
was being so rude. And
Okay.
Kim's
Mm,
like, I've taught her to be honest, and just like express herself and uh, no.
I'm so glad I'm
Yeah.
not watching then.
Yeah.
I can't
Don't.
stand for punk ass little kids. Like
Hmm.
yesterday I went to Marshall's and it was like, supposed to be quiet because like we were there right when like the Niners were losing. So I was
Hmm.
like, okay,
Oh
we have some
yeah.
time.
Hmm.
And then so we thought everyone was gonna be at home watching the game. Well, all the moms took their heathenry to the
uh,
stores,
oh
and
yeah.
there were kids just running and screaming up and I'm like, I'm looking at the mom. The mom's like, really? What? Why are you? Where are you? Are you here? Are you
Hmm.
looking at this? Aren't you ashamed? Oh my God. Oh
Yeah,
my
no, they're
God.
not. They decided to take the heathenry away from the fathers who
Ugh.
were stressed to no end at that
Yeah.
with
Oh,
that freaking game. Because I literally was, I can't handle stress like this.
no, we were watching it after dance class. We had lunch. And it was like, okay, it was the first, we caught the first and second quarter. We're like, oh my God, look at the fuck. We left during the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, and we were at Home Depot when they won. And but we
Mm-hmm.
didn't realize that it had gotten so tight at the
Mm-hmm.
last. Oh my God,
Yeah,
that wow.
I
Wow.
swear. Yeah, I know. Tony, but you know what I love about Tony is that he like is a believer. Like it doesn't
Mhm.
matter. Like even and I will say this about myself, if even like I go, it's only the first quarter. It's okay. Because I always say, okay, you guys did everything you could in the beginning, wasted all your damn energy,
Yeah, I
got
get
all
like
everything, and then all of a sudden they're pumped. After they come back after halftime, they're gonna kick your ass. And people were like, a couple of Tony's people that he was texting was like, they're done. It's over. Tony's like, not until the last minute things can freaking change.
that's
Uh,
that was
I
proved
mean,
yesterday.
yes, and I just love Purdy so much. I just
Yeah.
want him to go. I want him to win. I want him to win so much. And today on the freeway, randomly, I saw Joe Montana on a truck. Like it was so weird. Like on a
Oh,
randomly. I'm like, it's a sign. It's a sign,
oh,
Joe. When have I ever seen you on a freeway?
oh my God. I'm
Right?
moving out
Like,
of the city though if we win. Yay, I want to
yeah.
win,
But
obviously,
wait,
but
they shut down a whole bunch of
yeah.
freeways and stuff.
We
Why?
couldn't get home. I
Yeah.
gave lip to some cop because he was so rude to me in the car. Like all of we the mission was shut down and we were driving home and we thought that there was gonna be like something, but like we didn't
Hmm.
think like we wouldn't be allowed to turn onto Harrison. He was like,
Yeah.
go over there. And we're like, we live there. Where's there? And I'm like, we live
Ugh.
over there on 18th and Harrison. Then you're gonna have
Hmm.
to we had to go all the way over on Potrero Hill and make this whole like loop. It was
So they were expecting
stupid.
people to be out in the streets just like having sideshows and shit?
There were huge sideshows last
There
night.
was?
There was
Where?
block parties and
Oh
like
shit, I didn't even
fire.
know because my uncle and a couple other people that live over there that I knew, and
Oh,
then someone also that was downtown. He was on mission and he was filming it. He's like, I could hear a pin drop.
oh
That's
my
what I was like,
God.
where's all these? And I had no clue there was because everybody I knew said it was so quiet because they were anticipating
No, it was
stuff and there was
horrible.
nothing. So they found ways regardless. I mean,
24th and
hello.
Mission was shut down.
Mm,
Yeah, I don't know where your peeps
damn.
were at with the mission.
Yeah, he was on mission. I saw the right where Azucena used to live.
I don't know.
And over near Van Ness. And I'm like, oh my, I mean, they obviously blocked places for a reason. So that's probably where they were and was
I mean,
quiet.
it was wall to wall people. It was
Man.
insane. It reminded me, I mean, that's how it always is though. Like, and for the like
Oh,
stupid
totally.
me, like I should have known. Like when the Giants, and it's great because like everyone comes together and EA team spirit and stuff.
Hmm.
But yeah, the cops were like over it. And it was just the beginning of the night. We had to like barricade in the office last night till like past midnight because of the fireworks. It
Hmm.
was right outside our window. I was like, are you kidding me? It sounded like World War III. It was horrible.
Oh, dang. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Oh,
So if
shoot.
if we win, yay, amazing,
Hmm.
but it's gonna be mayhem.
Yeah, for real. Did you see the signs or anything like that when you guys left earlier in the
No,
day? Oh, crap. Oh
no.
man. Oh well.
Because we left during the game. We left because we took dance class and then we went and had lunch to catch the first part of the game, just
Hmm.
right here up the street. So we were
Hmm.
around the corner and then we walked home to get the car. No signs, no nothing, because it was still early. It was
Hmm.
4:30. So it was like, ugh,
Oh shoot.
yeah, should have
Oh, so
known.
frustrating. I know. That sucks, but I don't know. We'll
But
see what
yeah,
the next few weeks bring. But until
oof.
then, I don't know. I mean, I'm excited about today's convo stuff.
I'm excited about today's convo too.
Yeah, we are going to
Yay.
talk about Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Well, this is a story about how my life got twisted upside down, and I'd
Down,
like
I'd
to
like
take
to
a
take a
minute
minute
just to
just to sit
right there
right there
tell
and
you
tell you
how
how I got on the fridge with my life.
we're so delayed.
Oh, totally. Oh man, but it was epic. And it was like, I don't know, you know what I loved is how vibrant the intro was and all the different colors, and it was just different from what we haven't seen anything like that really.
Yeah, I mean, maybe with Martin we have like the
Yeah.
theme song and then the theme, like the colors, and it was very like in your face. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's the one I equate it to. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like in terms of like I always think color and catchy song, though I've
Trying
not
to think of what the theme song was for
it was
Martin.
just Martin. I can think
Uh-huh.
of
Yeah,
Martin,
that's
but like it
right.
went with like the colors and like the way they were like coming
Mm-hmm.
out with the shapes and stuff.
It was
But like
theirs was really 90s, like the different type of vibe.
totally,
Yeah, that's true.
totally. I mean, the song, let's just start right there. The song's iconic,
Mm-hmm.
and the way that the theme like start like you see it tells a story. Hello, this is a story. Oh, so like his
Mm-hmm.
journey, like Will's journey from Philadelphia to Bel Air, so total different polar opposites, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had forgotten that the reason, I don't know how I forgot this, but I forgot that the reason why like he was schlepped off to Bel Air was because of the he got his basketball like hit like a gang member or something, and his
Mm-hmm.
mom shipped him off. I mean, he says it in the song, but
Mm-hmm.
like
Exactly.
the little theme is kind of a summary of like what you're gonna what the story is. I love that. I
No, for
loved
real.
that. That is so like you know exactly what the viewer knows, what they're gonna see, what they're gonna get out of the show from the theme song, and that's how everything should be. Like
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh,
they
totally.
typically are, right? Like I'm just
Mm-hmm.
flashing in my head like some themes. Like Gilmore Girls does that, Living Single does that, Friends does that. So,
Yeah.
but not so much the way Fresh Prince did. They
Like
legit
like
told
lyrically.
with
Like I
the
think
eyes, with visually.
yeah, exactly. They combine it was like a little tiny skit before, that told the
Exactly.
whole story before it started. With the other ones, they do it, but in a different manner. This one was like, I don't know, I could watch it over and over and
You know
over
what it
again
is?
and not get sick of it.
And you know what it is? It's not clips from the show to make the
Hmm.
theme song and the theme
Yeah.
intro. It's they made a whole little synopsis for their
Hmm.
theme. So yeah,
Exactly.
and like even with the gang, like the ball bounces into like their and they get all
Hmm.
mad, and then like the mom's there, like I'm gonna
Yeah.
send you to your aunt and uncle in Bel Air. It's
Hmm.
just, and anyone who knows the show knows the song and could probably start singing the song off the bat. I
Hmm.
don't think we'll meet someone that doesn't know it. I mean, unless they
No,
were born in the year 2010 and
exactly.
but even
No,
then, I
for
feel like the
real.
show's so relevant. And like if you were to watch it today, I think you could
Hmm.
appreciate it in today's day and age.
Oh, totally. I think so too. And I think that it's just one of those it doesn't it's an older 90s show, right? But it doesn't feel like that. Like how some you go back and you look and
Mhm.
you're like, "Oh, this is dated." Right?
Yes.
But I feel like this show in particular, it wouldn't feel that way. It would still just be as refreshing. Like some of the things might be a little bit dated, but for the most part, like Presley would totally be down with it. It's like Full House,
Yeah, I think so.
you
I
know?
totally agree.
Because
And
sometimes like some of the kids can't relate, and I still think it's highly relatable.
I would say like maybe kids wouldn't be able to relate in terms of like fashion. So this show like
Yeah.
aired from September 1990 to May 1996. So the fashion was straight up 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Like vibrant colors and like the hammer pants and like the caps and all that stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
also, fashion is kind of going on a little merry-go-round like it normally does. And we're seeing a
Mm-hmm.
lot of 90s wear everywhere. We're seeing it in Target again. We're seeing it everywhere. So maybe kids today could relate to the fashion. But if they couldn't, I think they could relate to everything else around it. Maybe not having a butler. Maybe not everyone can
Mm-hmm.
relate to that. I
Yeah,
can't. But
exactly.
I think it's a very relatable
Mm-hmm.
show.
Oh, totally. And reading about it and listening to different things about Fresh Prince, it was actually pretty cool how I love the concept behind it and the executive producer who was Benny Medina,
Hmm.
who is black. It was based off pretty much his life where
Hmm.
he ended up moving, but to live with a white family. and he switched it around to make it more relatable. And so this way they can actually talk about, so instead of living with the white family, he decided, oh, okay, we're going to make it a black family. So this way they can bring up all the issues too about race and like culture, and have just more of like a show that, your black family, black little kids can actually relate to. It's not something that you saw, because a lot of times they did that for years where it was, like for example, like Different Strokes,
Mm-hmm.
the black family, moves in with the white people, right? And he wanted to take a different spin on it. And I was just like, and it's true, because when you think about all the different things that they bring up throughout the seasons, it's true. They talk about the different culture, they talk about different race things that come up, you know, and it would actually put a different perspective on things. Even for me, listening, like things that I would never even know, it taught me a lot.
Yeah, I do like, and I like that you bring that up right off the bat because also I think it was important to see um a family like theirs on TV being so like I don't know, just very well off, very like
Hmm.
financially stable. They had live-in help. Hillary was a spoiled like princess and they went to private school and wasn't he a judge,
Hmm.
Uncle Phil? Like,
Yeah.
seeing them do that, like
Hmm.
I thought it was so it was like you said, completely different. And then but then you have the fish out of water kind of
Hmm.
like,
Oh,
he's in there
totally.
like, what the fuck am I doing? And like wearing his school jacket inside out and like, just bringing his best friend Jazz, who's
Oh,
like
yeah.
him, but in this house, and you see like, Uncle Phil like being like trying to reprimand, and he's all like well spoken and everything. And it's just, I
Hmm.
liked seeing that dynamic with a black family and a
Hmm.
black lead, like
Oh,
it's a
yeah,
black
because
completely.
they show the different, like the discrimination
Hmm.
between upper class black people and lower class black people. And I think
Definitely.
but they handled it well with grace, and how, it's good to get that perspective on both,
Yes,
because hell, look, like you said, like Hillary, she was in her own world, and it's
definitely.
true. It doesn't matter if you're black, doesn't matter if you're white, doesn't matter if you're Mexican, Chinese. When you grow up in a privileged lifestyle, you are like, it's ingrained in you to think a certain way,
Hmm.
and it doesn't matter what color you are. Like, you don't experience the same things that you would experience if, you're not from a place like that,
Right.
and you're searching for more, you're needing more, right? And they didn't need for nothing,
They
you know?
didn't. And they covered it with I mean, they touched on these subjects like with humor, but they also had really serious moments in the show as well. And maybe
Hmm.
even like, so like you'll have like every episode had humor. Okay, because
Hmm.
that's their genre. But when
Right.
they would tackle like the hard topics, like when Will, the episode where he wanted to see his dad and his dad was like an absentee
Oh, yeah.
father. So like they
Hmm.
covered that. There was humor, but there was also like the sadness and like the anger that he felt. And like you saw like this boy like missing and needing his dad. And then, but he
Hmm.
had his uncle and, his
Hmm.
family surrounding him sort of filled that void. I thought that was great. And also the episode where Carlton, I think he was the one that got shot, or was it
Hmm.
Will? I think it was
Oh, I think it was
Will.
Will.
And
Mhm.
then Carlton was so angry and like he gets
Yeah.
a gun to protect
Hmm.
himself. And Will like had to be like, no, that's not what we need to resort to. Like that's what
Right.
that society expects us to do is to
Hmm.
retaliate. When
Hmm.
I'm okay, I've survived, like let's turn it into a positive. We don't need to go that route. Like
Exactly.
I mean, and even Carlton's character, like, so we,
Hmm.
Hillary, like, she's shopping princess diva, but he was like Harvard bound or
Hmm.
wherever bound, like Ivy League bound, and he wore the sweater vest and he listened to Tom Jones and he listened to like, he was very like poppy
Hmm.
and I
Yeah.
feel like I related to that, and I'm sure you did too, because in high
Hmm.
school we were called whitewashed
Yeah.
for liking music that we liked, and here we see
Hmm.
this guy liking the music that he liked, and maybe people were looking
Exactly.
at him like, who are you?
You shouldn't be
Like
listening to that.
exactly. So like it's
Hmm.
just like every single character like had like a layer to them that
Yeah.
we could all take something from. It was
Yeah. And it's
really
so funny how like Will did bring those things to the table, but also gave them a dose of reality, because I
uh-huh.
think they, especially with Carlton, he tried hard to understand Will and fit in, but there was a level of he just couldn't meet him there. Like there was that one episode where I think either Will was doing drugs, I think he was doing weed or something like that. And Carlton was like, "Oh yeah, I've been offered that every now and then. I've been offered that before and yeah, I've experienced this." And Will's like, "You have?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I think in a way, Carlton a lot of times didn't want Will to see him very vulnerable. So he tried to meet him at his level.
Yeah.
And Will kind of had to shake him up a bit. And they needed each other more, I think, than they realized,
Yeah.
and it was a good balance. But what I love too about this show is that in the beginning, because, um, what's his name? Will Smith started off as a rapper, and that's how they found him when, I believe I can't remember where he was. I think it was at some party or something where he was discovered. And he was, a rapper. So he
With
was,
jazz.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
with Jazzy Jeff. That's the name, right?
Yeah.
And so when he started Fresh Prince, this was like really like the beginning of his acting career. And it was pretty cool to see him take on these roles of like, even like you said, like the episode with, his absent father, or just parts where he kind of had to get deep. And I really feel like you really saw him like flourish into this amazing actor that was able to, even in those very like serious parts, he was able to crack a joke.
I
Or you got to
right.
see that really like, I don't like A Star Was Born. It's so cheesy. I don't want to say it that way, but it's true. Like I feel like we were seeing him just like become this amazing actor that kind of like catapulted him into like stardom.
And not only, I mean, I think he's one of the funniest actors. Like he's
Hmm.
got like the comedic timing, like
Oh
without even
yeah.
trying, like kind of Jim Carrey-ish.
Hmm.
But like he wasn't pigeonholed by being in Fresh Prince or by being
Right.
a rapper. He
Hmm.
was in all kind like the success that he got from the show and just being him. He got to do all kinds of different movies and not just comedy. It was Bad Boys with Martin. It was Independence Day, which I love him in that, and Men
Hmm.
in Black, and
Yeah.
that scary ass movie. Like he did all kinds of genre. You know that scary movie
Hmm.
where he was like, he had to like kill his
Oh
dad.
yes. Yeah. What was that?
He was
Something,
like the last person on
yeah.
Earth or
I
whatever,
think
and
I
they
blocked
were
it
like,
out.
yeah, it was
S-
awful. It was awful. It was such a scary movie. I'm still
uh-huh.
haunted by it. But like that is, and The Pursuit of
Something
Happiness.
Z.
Yes. Yes.
Something like
We
that.
don't need to.
Hmm.
But like The Pursuit of Happiness, like that
Hmm.
genre. And it's like
Oh
this man,
man.
and or like the when he was the boxer,
Hmm.
like
Yes.
all kinds of
Muhammad
genres.
Ali,
Like,
right?
yes, Ali. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and so you got sci-fi, drama, comedy, like just
Mm-hmm.
he's amazing.
Yeah, and in the meantime, he's still making music,
Hmm.
and good ass music.
Good
Like
ass
music that
music.
we like literally our summers were full of just,
Yeah.
Will Smith songs.
Because that was during our like high school, like he
Mm-hmm.
was heavily like weaved through that. And then
Yeah.
also, what I loved about him was he did not use a single like curse word in his
No.
music.
Mm-hmm.
I
Exactly.
mean, all because his grandma, because he started rapping when he was a little boy. He was
Mm-hmm.
12. And like
Exactly.
I think his grandma like found like a notebook of containing some of his like songs.
Mm-hmm.
And there was not a lot of curse words. It was maybe like a
No.
shit or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And his grandma was like, you do not need to use curse words to get your point across. And he
Mm-hmm.
listened and applied that.
Yeah.
I love that about him. I just
Yeah.
He's so classy. Like I look at him and I'm
Yes.
like, you're classy. Like,
No, he is. And he's a perfect example of how you can be successful without having to like be a certain, you don't have to be vulgar to
yeah,
be successful and still get, like you said, still get your message across without having to say all these damn cuss words,
yeah.
you know? And it made it to where kids could listen to his music without having to turn it down or have your parents tell you, you know, and he knew, and he's smart because that's a way to be successful because little kids, parents are going to be okay with their kids listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, just real quick, it's called, because Tony's gonna kill me if I don't get the freaking name right. It's called
I Am
I Am
Legend.
Legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Tony would have been like, you didn't say it right. So there you go. I didn't care for the movie myself, but
And you
I'm
know
sure there's a
what?
lot of fans.
Maybe you were confusing the title with the title to I, Robot.
Probably, yes, because that
Yeah.
was another one that creeped me out too.
No, I Am
But
Legend. I saw once, and that was
hmm
all I needed. The movie's not bad. We're not saying the movie's bad. It's
no.
actually really good, but
hmm
it's scary. And I have a thing with animals in movies. Let's just leave it at that.
And that's so funny because I have a thing with robots.
Oh, I didn't
And I
know.
can't stand robots. And now with the whole AI thing, I can't. So, so, there we are, we're even. But, but Bad Boys, like that was such a good movie,
Oh,
hilarious,
oh my God, the
right?
scene. I'm so sorry. We're gonna interrupt with the scene. Remember the scene where Martin's daughter is gonna go out
hmm
on a date and the poor guy comes and knocks on the door. He's like, hey, I'm here to dinner. And he's scared shitless. And like he rips the door open. He's like, who
hmm
the f are you?
hmm
And then he's got his gun blazing. And
hmm
then he calls Will and he rips up and they're like staring him down like with their guns. It's so funny. And as the wife is walking with the
hmm
daughter, like, okay, honey, here we go. They're like scaring the shit out of him. That
Oh
is
no, it's classic.
that's my favorite scene forever.
hmm
Oh my God, I love him so much. And he's just an
Yes.
amazing guy. And we could be here all day talking about, how amazing he is and
hmm
how he deserves better than what he's got at home. Okay?
Yeah, which is
We're not
funny.
Team Jada here.
No, we're not. And what's funny is Jada actually tried out to be in Fresh Prince as his love interest.
Bye. Tyra Banks took the job. Thank
Yes,
you.
exactly, because they said she was too short. Nothing against short people, but she didn't get it. And then they got her for what was it? A Different World, I think it
Oh,
was.
who cares? I don't
So,
invest
or
in
one of
Jada.
those. But
No.
but and I really do think he's getting the raw end of the shaft here, even though I don't think that what he did to Chris Rock it was not acceptable, but
No, it
I think that
wasn't.
there's a lot of deep-rooted trauma that Will has to deal with and is dealing with, but
Yeah.
either here or there it doesn't say anything about the type of person he is, and the type of actor is. He's phenomenal. He
Yeah.
really is. So, I don't know. I don't know. He's just amazing. Real quick though, with this show, did you like it towards the end when they like went to college? Not they went to college, right? Or who went to college? Was it him or both him and Carlton? Didn't they go together? Because I remember them being in dorms.
They did. That's where they had that fun house party.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
gosh.
See, I need to rewatch this show with Angel because I need her to watch it. She's watched it, but I need her to watch it again. He's so funny.
He
He's
is.
so funny. Like
hmm
I remember when Hillary got married to or the guy proposed to her while bungee jumping Trey.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And then he goes, Hillary, will you? Splat.
I
Sorry, it's
swear.
not funny.
But it
Some of the
was.
shit they came up with was hilarious. No, but
I
Will
know.
Will was amazing. And
hmm
I think while we're talking about the characters, I mean, who who in your mind is the star following Will? Would it be Alfonso Ribeiro?
To me, yes.
I
I think
agree.
that of course we all know when we think of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, we think of Will Smith, right?
Uh-huh.
But honestly, like nowadays, like Carlton, everybody knows Carlton, and what he was known for with his dancing, his little pompous attitude. And I just think in a lot of these scenes, he stole the show.
He did.
You know,
He
I just
did.
and I know, and actually, to be honest, he's my favorite character.
Yeah.
Even more so than Will. I adore Will, but I think that he's just, I don't know, something about him. I just loved seeing him and just his reactions to things.
He's just so beloved in the way he would screech, like when he would scream.
Yes.
Like he's what a talent. And like
Mm-hmm.
um
Completely.
I just the way he was able to just assume that role, like you
Mm-hmm.
believed. I mean, that's what actors are supposed to do, but he was so believable.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of makes you wonder like how close to the veil did they get it? You know what I mean? Like is he kind of like
Exactly. And that's what
the
I was just gonna say,
dancing?
that you took the words out of my mouth, because I'm like, how is he in real life?
Yeah, I mean, because we've seen him
Mm-hmm.
since, like he was hosting America, was it called Dancing with the Stars?
Dancing with the Stars, yeah.
And all that
And
because
America's Funniest Home Videos.
okay, see, because he's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
also,
But his attitude is the same, kinda. Like
right?
has that, he's not arrogant by any means, but he
No.
has this like air about him that
Yeah.
is the same as Carlton.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite parts of this show involve obviously him and Will, but I loved how he would do things like his hilarious like dancing, for example, and everyone around him would just be nonchalant, like making salad while he's like dancing in the
Mm-hmm.
corner, like freaking
Yeah.
out. And that's I love those silent moments. Like we're not really that's not supposed to be like the highlight of the episode. We're supposed to be looking over
Right.
here at what
Mm-hmm.
they're doing, but he's dancing and like that
Uh-huh.
stole the moment for me.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds
Yeah.
me of like growing up and me and Annie were weird and
Mm-hmm.
our parents would just be talking amongst themselves and we're just like doing
Mm-hmm.
something stupid and nobody would bat an eyelash. That's what
Mm-hmm.
that
Oh,
brought me to.
totally. Yeah, no, because I was gonna say that too. Is it reminds me of when I would do stupid, crazy, weird things in front of my parents, and my dad would just look at me like, and then go on with his business. Meanwhile, I'm over there, getting tangled in God knows what, or
Yeah.
it. But everybody could relate to that because he
Yeah.
was like the weird of the
I
family.
love that. I
It
love
was so
it.
refreshing.
I mean, and he's gonna come back because, because he's just everywhere. But Ashley, for example. So I loved
Hmm.
Ashley as well. I thought she was like, she didn't try so hard to be a Hillary, and
Right.
she didn't try hard to be a Carlton. She was just her own person, and she was this beautiful girl, and she was an aspiring singer.
Hmm.
And of course, one of my all-time favorite episodes involves Ashley's singing career. But who
Hmm.
stole the fucking episode was Carlton when
Hmm.
she's performing at the school
Uh-huh.
and the parents don't know. And they had
Mhm.
forbidden her to do like enter a singing contest or pursue singing because they wanted her to take her education seriously. The
Mhm.
parents come in and they see her singing and they see Will and Carlton being backup and doing
Mhm.
choreo. Like they're like,
Yeah.
like you're supposed to be watching her sing and it's a
Ah.
real good song. But then
Mhm.
all of a sudden, like Carlton takes it to the like he starts
Mhm.
like breaking it down, like hilarious.
Uh-huh. Oh,
And then
completely.
and then Uncle Phil runs in to try to stop what's going
Mhm.
on, but he's now the center of everyone's attention. So he starts dancing to the song. It is such a good episode, but like yes, that it always goes back to
Ah.
freaking Carlton. He is a star. He's a star.
Mhm.
He really is.
Oh,
So
he
love
is.
him.
It's just like when he was caught strip dancing.
Oh,
And Aunt Viv, I something
oh,
about like they had like pawned off Aunt Viv's jewelry or something like
don't
that,
remember.
and they had no choice but to try and get make money to get it back. And all of a sudden you see in like Carlton has no shirt on and he's like about to strip down, and all of a sudden Aunt Viv happens to be a part of that group, and she's like, Carlton. And he's like, but the look on his face and how he was, it was just priceless. And in a way, like we said, he's a natural because he just doesn't look like he's acting. Like you
No.
could see him get in these situations. They're
Yeah, he
believable.
he's just, oh my God, he's a national treasure. Like he
Mhm.
really is. And I
Yeah.
loved his vibe with Will. Like I liked the two
Mhm.
together, and because
Mhm.
they were complete polar opposites. You know, he
Mhm.
was like the young preppy little nerd, and and Will was street smart, you know, like he
Oh
knew
yeah.
the way of the world. And it was just a nice little combo of the two, oil and water, oil and
Mhm.
vinegar. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I liked what they once they came together, and it was magic. So
Mhm. Oh,
loved that.
completely. And also like Jeffrey, the butler.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought he was hilarious. He was adorable, but I liked his little side comments, his digs, and his quarrels that he would have with Hillary. You
Yes.
know, it was just it was perfect. Like he didn't have to say much. It was his looks that he gave people. He's very I love how they
Oh,
incorporate butlers, right? Just like Niles and the nanny. Jeffrey was the same way. Like he didn't even have to say anything. It was like the way he would look at her up and down, behind her while she's making a fuss over something. And he all he had to do was turn around and walk away, and that's all he had to do. And it was enough to like steal the freaking scene.
oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Loved
Yeah.
him. He was adorable, and I loved his accent.
I loved his accent. And then I feel like he
Mm-hmm.
did cameos as himself in other
Mm-hmm.
shows, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe.
I know
Right?
he didn't he show up in a Saved by the Bell episode when they did like the murder mystery or something. I feel like he was there.
Maybe, but I know that didn't Fresh Prince and Blossom
They
were
sure
back to
did.
back, and
And
didn't they went they what do you call
because
that, crossed
six
over
they did
to,
a
yeah.
crossover episode because six was getting married to not not Jazzy, was it?
I want to say they, let's see. I don't think so.
Yes. It was she was gonna marry Jazz.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yes.
So they
Yeah, that's
crossed
right.
over. I want what season did they cross? I think it was like the third or fourth season, but like yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so they that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Hi Mayim Bialik, so that was amazing. And like
Yeah.
Oprah made a cameo, and
Mm-hmm.
that was amazing. It was in the finale, like series finale.
Mm-hmm.
And that was so cool because another of one of my favorite episodes is where they go on the Oprah show. We never see Oprah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
but we hear the da 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 da,
Yeah.
and then Carlton
Mm-hmm.
starts dancing, and nobody's paying
Yes.
attention because it's just him again. But like
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was cool. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, Tyresha, Miss Tyra Banks
Uh-huh.
herself.
Uh-huh.
What was her name? Jackie. Yeah, Jackie.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think Urkel did a cameo, which is cool because that you were seeing like a lot of like the 90s
Mm-hmm.
shows like stars like hey boo.
Mm-hmm.
Chris
Yeah.
Rock was on an episode, which is hilarious because then hi, later on
Mm-hmm.
in life.
Right.
Um
Oh
and
yeah. It's totally, that's crazy.
do you remember?
Um,
Oh my God, do you remember Susan Powder?
do I ever?
So
Hello.
she was on that episode. She was on an
No
episode.
way, I
She
did
was a
not know she was on
fitness
there.
fanatic. So I
Oh,
know
she's
that's so
crazy.
random.
Was she a fitness person on the
Yes.
show? Oh
Yes.
shoot.
And it's
She was
so
crazy.
random.
If you
But
don't
yeah.
remember who she was, she's this tall white lady with like crazy, like a buzz cut, like
Yeah.
white hair. And she
Yeah.
was just like a fanatic of exercise. And
Yeah.
she was on infomercials. That's so funny. I do not remember her being on there,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna have to look that up.
It was funny. So that was a funny little cameo for me. I think the Jeffersons also were on a episode as well. So they had like memorable peeps show
Hmm.
up. Jazzy was one of my favorite guests. I love how in
Yeah.
love he was with Hillary.
Right?
So that was because how different could they be, you know?
Completely.
But he was just such a good friend to Will. Like,
Yeah, he was. And he was adorable.
I loved him. I loved that
Hmm.
Will brought his bestie on the show.
Yeah,
Like,
I love that
he's
too.
coming with me. Like,
Hmm.
that's just amazing.
Hmm.
And I love how every time he would be there, Uncle Phil would kick him out, and all we would see is a body flying out the door.
Yes.
So let us talk about Uncle Phil real quick because he definitely needs a mention. I mean, he
Hmm.
was the father figure. He was the patriarch of the entire family. You know,
Mhm.
he was a serious guy, but lovable teddy bear. He was
Mhm.
like, he maybe did not want Will around probably at the beginning. And he was like, what kind of mayhem is he gonna bring to our home? But
Mhm.
he grew to love Will as a son and was his father. Like that
Mhm.
was his father. He wasn't lacking any kind of a father figure
No,
because he had him in his life. And,
completely.
you know, there were lots of like little tender moments between the two. I think, didn't he have a heart attack or something happened?
He did, and actually that was one of the episodes that I remember. I don't know
Oh,
why, but
no.
it was, I don't know, it was, you saw a side of Will with, you know, with him that was so like heartwarming. And remember they thought that he had so Phil was struggling with his weight for, and I love how they brought that into his
Yes.
character because it, you know, what household doesn't, right? Or like,
Yes.
you know, it's something that just made them more normal. You know, even though you had money, you know, and a butler or chef, he still couldn't lose the weight, right?
Right.
And so he ends up having a serious heart attack after eating a cheeseburger that he bribed Will for. And I remember Will felt so guilty for giving him the cheeseburger, and he thought that it was his fault that he had the heart attack.
Oh,
And
I
it was
forgot
so
about that.
heartbreaking. And you know, Uncle Phil was like, "No, it's not because of you. This is something that I've been struggling with for a while, and it was inevitable regardless if I had the cheeseburger or not." But at that moment, you saw how much Will loved him. You know,
Yeah.
the fact that, oh my God, I could have lost him and it could have been my fault, you know? And it was just, I don't know, the dynamic between them two, it was, you know, because Uncle Phil used to get so irritated with him, you
Oh,
know?
yeah.
The level of irritation was like beyond. And to see their relationship progress and kind of like Full House, you know, towards the end it had like a meaning behind it or a lesson,
Hmm.
you know, and I just love that about 90s shows. I
I
will
do
say that until my
too.
heart's content.
Because
And
we
it's
don't
so
have that
important.
anymore. We don't have
No.
the lessons, and I need the lessons. I
Yes.
I took a lot from the lessons,
It
you
made us
know?
who we are.
It totally shaped us
It did
as
because, and I
human
feel like this
beings.
is what this generation is lacking, is they're lacking lessons, they're lacking empathy, and they're lacking kindness on, and I feel like these shows taught them how to just be nice, or if you see someone's being mean, stick up for them, or you know,
Yeah.
it's just it's so heartwarming to see these shows that have that, you
Yeah.
know? And I feel like when the 90s left, so did these kind of things.
Agreed.
Hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah. But
Um, mhm.
um Aunt Viv.
I was just about to ask you that. What are your, I want
So
to
did
know
did you believe Aunt Viv? So initially they had, what was her, what is her actual name? I
the
can't
original
remember.
Janet Hubert.
Okay. So she was on for I don't know how many seasons.
Four, I think.
Okay. So they're saying that she was, so it actually, I think it was in 2000, and was it 2020 where they had a reunion
Yes.
or something,
Yes.
and they kind of squashed what happened back in the day. But
And Will
so
apologized.
exactly, but she claims, so when it, because she just was like there one day and then gone the next,
Yeah.
right? And I believe they did one of those things where a new actress came in and they kind of announced it like, or either they put it on a, you know how back in the day you used to put it on the screen, like in the place of da
I
da da
don't
da da da.
remember them announcing it
I don't
at
know if they did
all.
or not, but I was like, who the heck is this?
And
I was like, is
also,
she an aunt that came from?
right. And also she looked nothing like the
No, completely
she
different.
was like, no, she did not look anything like her. It's like they didn't even try. And
No, they didn't.
I believe what she said. Like I believe
Hmm. Same
exactly
here.
what happened. Like, and if you guys don't know what we're talking about, so Janet Hubert was the original Aunt Viv, who I
Hmm.
loved. That was
Hmm.
my Aunt Viv, like the dancer Aunt Viv, because
Hmm.
she was a dancer in real life. She was amazing. And
Hmm.
was not fired from the show,
No.
supposedly. So that was just the rumor. She
Mm-hmm.
basically was told that she couldn't work anywhere else, like while she was under contract, and her agent said, don't accept it. And so
Mm-hmm.
she listened because they thought, like, if she says no, they'll renegotiate or something, because that's what
Mm-hmm.
actors do.
Mm-hmm.
And she like also, but aside from, so they didn't, and aside from that, they she wasn't apparently laughing at Will's jokes enough on set.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was sent to her dressing room in between takes. This
Hmm.
came from her mouth,
Mm-hmm.
in an interview, that, she was sent, oh, go away in your dressing room, like, because she just was the only one, like, with her face, like, that wasn't funny.
Mm-hmm.
And no one supported her when, so there was that happening. Okay, so like
Mm-hmm.
that tension. And then she was like, I don't want to accept this new contract. So then they were like, bye.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody had her back.
Yeah.
Nobody. And she was asked in an interview, were you surprised that nobody like said anything on your behalf, like, or say, hey, that's wrong? Or
Mm-hmm.
if she goes, I go. And then she basically was like, no, I was not surprised. Everyone's out to
Mm-hmm.
look for themselves and their own like paycheck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And apparently she also alleged that the cast, that they were offered money to like take her down. And that's in
Mm-hmm.
her words too.
Mm-hmm.
And so I believe it because Will apologized.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
And
I
why would
also,
you
but,
apologize for something that didn't happen?
and also what reason, why would she tell that? Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's very
exactly.
believable, like what she
Mm-hmm.
said. Like, why didn't she renegotiate her contract? So if she wasn't, maybe if she was laughing at his jokes and like being more like with camaraderie like on set or whatever, maybe
Mm-hmm.
they would have worked with her and like given her a better contract, or just like been like, okay, well, you can do this or X amount of
Mm-hmm.
projects. But like they didn't. They were just like, okay, well, goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
can see yourself
exactly.
out. So
And she did say, I heard that in the reunion in 2020, she did mention too that along with the fact that they didn't renew her contract, she was going through a lot of personal stuff also that did interfere with just her overall mental state and well-being, which might have reflected why she was acting the way she was during that time, right?
mm,
But they did say that Uncle Phil, okay, James Avery, on many accounts had told her this isn't the Phil and Aunt Viv show.
uh-huh.
So I don't know what that means, but I think that, I think when you get groups in any case, right, I think that there's always going to be he said, she said, a lot of hurt feelings. But I do think that there was something definitely that was going on between Will and Janet for sure, because
Yeah,
why would he apologize, and
right.
feelings got hurt, and it just kind of blew up, and because they never talked after that. It
No.
was just like they hadn't talked for years since she left the show, and it was like done, no closure.
Yeah. That's sad. But I'm
So
glad she got her apology, and like she seems, she seemed to have accepted it, and like everything seems to have been like squashed. So at least they're in a good
mhm,
place. And
yeah,
no hate to the new Aunt Viv, like at
no, but I
all.
wish they would have just killed her off.
Yeah, they should have done
Made
a
it more or
Roseanne.
something like, or maybe we got a divorce, or she left, she had to go take care of the grandmother. I don't know, something, because honestly, the new Aunt Viv, like you said, nothing against her, who was played by Daphne Reed, she straight up, to me, just didn't fit in at all.
Yeah,
I
no,
couldn't
she
get
did.
used to it. To me, that's where I kind of, unfortunately, kind of stopped like being as interested as I was, you know? And I think that just shows how, even though Aunt Viv was a big part of the show, but some people may say she wasn't like the main character, right? But she definitely was a big supporting part. And I think that, those supporting actors, if you take them
Yeah.
away, it really does a damper to the vibe of the show. And I think that's what happened when Aunt Viv left.
Yeah, I agree.
You
Definitely.
know, you can't switch out people like that.
No,
Hard.
again, this is like them assuming that viewers are stupid. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, everyone, if you're gonna do this on a show, do it the way they did it on Roseanne, the original Roseanne. Don't get it twisted. The
Mm-hmm.
original Roseanne.
Right.
Sarah, when they, brought in Sarah Chalk to replace Lacey Goranson,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
they made jokes about it. They're like, we know this isn't her, but at least they got
Right.
someone that looked similar to her. The hell? That was just stupid. That was a stupid point in the show. But moving right along, I feel like we didn't give really quickly, we didn't give enough kudos to Karen Rockwell,
Mm-hmm.
Karen Parsons, who played Hillary Banks. I thought she was so eloquent. I thought she was so elegant.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was perfect. Like the way she did Valley Girl was
Oh,
so
totally.
amazing. Like, hi, how are
Mm-hmm.
you? Like, that was so good. The way she
Mm-hmm.
scampered, her pearls, like her everything, her hats, like she was just so amazing. And one thing that I liked was that they tried to give her because like I don't know if they were sure like what to do with Hillary. Like, okay, she's just this beautiful like girl who maybe isn't the brightest bulb in the shed, but she's got her beauty to
Right.
rely on. But like they gave her a career.
Mm-hmm.
Like she
Oh,
had
they
her
did.
talk show, like the Hillary
Mm-hmm.
Banks show. And is
Mm-hmm.
that where she met didn't she date somebody or might no, I'm confusing it with Living Single. Never mind, but like she didn't have a talk show, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
I think
liked
it's
that. I
just
liked that
term time.
storyline for her. So
Oh, totally. And I
that
think
was
that
amazing.
she struggled with it's kind of like she was trying to find her identity for the longest time. Like she always we all identified her as the rich, prude kind of, that was stuck just very you know, kind of snobby,
Yeah.
whatever, right? But she struggled with that. And she didn't per se like to be associated with that label, right?
Right.
Because she was more than that. And I
Mm-hmm.
think Will brought that out of
Uh-huh.
her,
Definitely.
and we saw episodes where she got out of her comfort zone with him,
Yeah.
and it was awkward, but it was hilarious and it was adorable, you
So
know?
adorable.
Mhm.
Yeah, loved it.
Yeah.
And then of course the young Tatiana Ali, who
Mhm.
was hi, what was her name in the show? Ashley.
Uh-huh.
She I didn't realize that she got her little acting career started on Sesame Street. How cute is
Aw.
that?
She is so pretty too.
She's gorgeous and I loved her
Mhm.
single like when we were in high
Mhm.
school. I
Oh,
forget
I
the
loved
name of
it
it,
too.
but it was
Uh,
I had the single. I had the CD single. What the hell was it called?
mhm.
It was so good. Um
Oh,
oh, it's gonna bug me. But yeah,
shoot.
she was amazing.
Daydreaming? Daydreaming? No.
Doesn't sound
Getting
right.
close. If only.
No,
Yeah, I
I'm
can't
looking at these
remember the
names that don't
hit.
look familiar. But like I loved her. And do you remember like she dated Jonathan Brandis?
Mhm. And they were a hot couple. They were
They
all
sure
over
were.
Teen Beat.
They sure were. 3-year relationship. That's a long time in Hollywood.
Mhm.
And then she was a spokesperson for Obama's presidential campaign in 2008. So that was really cool.
Mhm.
And I haven't seen much of her really like starring roles. Like she was in a lot of things. Like she was in the movie Jawbreaker. Yay, we love that movie.
Mhm.
She was in that's like the only thing that I recognize. Oh,
Yeah,
Kiss
and
the Girls.
she's super super smart. She's an activist, but she's a mom as well. She's also a Harvard graduate,
Yeah,
which is
she's
amazing.
brains
She's
and beauty. It can be done,
super. And I love
everybody.
the fact that she's known for that and she's done a lot of things since then. But I
Yeah.
love the fact just like Blossom, what's her name? Mayim
Maya
Beli.
Bialik,
Yeah,
yeah.
like smart girls that still went to college, you know, and still pursued that. They didn't solely depend on acting, for the rest of their lives, and I don't know, she was just and I liked her like I can't say like she was a big part of the show too, but she was like the little sister that was, cutesy. She had her moments and stuff, but she was just, I don't know, she was just really, I loved her hair. She was just so pretty. I was
I
remember
loved
her.
her too. I thought she was such a cute character, and normally like the littlest sibling is annoying, but
Exactly.
she
And she
was
wasn't at
not.
all.
She
Mm-mm.
wasn't. I really loved her, and I loved her relationship with Will. I loved her relationship
Uh-huh.
with Carlton, and I loved her
Yeah.
relationship with Hillary. Like
Yeah.
she was a really well-rounded character. So I absolutely
Yeah.
loved her. And yeah, I mean, the show, it's like we said, I feel like we can put it on today, and I feel like we could learn from it. We could enjoy it. I feel like the comedy is just timeless.
Mm-hmm.
And I absolutely love this show. It's like when I think of 90s shows, like that's on the forefront. Like hi, that's why we're covering it like so early in our
Mm-hmm.
dives.
Oh, totally. Because it was one of those that will always be a staple.
Definitely a household favorite, if you will.
Yeah, it was. I just love it. I mean, it's one of those things you could have on in the background and just like, you don't have to be watching it, but then something will come up and you're like laughing and then totally engaged in it again. Like
Totally.
it's just, yeah, it's just a great, great show. It's one
Hmm.
that I'll watch forever if it's on, you
Yeah,
know.
it's just like this show is like what Friends is to me as well. Like those, like what
Hmm.
you say, like have it on in the background as well, or just sit down and watch it, like because you just get roped into
Hmm.
it if it's on in the background. It's so good.
No, for real. And like I said in the beginning, I just love the fact that it was an all black cast.
Yeah,
And it gave us all a different perception and just different view from what we normally saw growing up to, you know, and how they were successful. And I don't know, it's just amazing. I just loved it. It's so like warms my heart.
same.
Hmm.
Yep. Gold
Yeah,
stars all around.
totally. Yeah, you can't go wrong with Fresh Prince. I love, and I do, like we said earlier, I love Will Smith.
Oh, I will always love Will Smith. I also love that we share a birthday. Like
Hmm.
when
Oh,
I
that's
think
right.
of like he's my favorite Libra. I love him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, totally. He's adorable and he seems like a good person,
He does.
right?
Like he
Hmm.
just seems like a genuinely big-hearted, humble guy. I love
Hmm.
him. Love him.
He does. Jada needs to be brought down to earth a bit.
We should just do a whole episode on Jada. We would be here all night.
Okay, that's for dang sure. Because, like I said, there are some things about her I can understand, but when it comes to Will, I feel like he's untouched. Should be untouched. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't think he has bad intentions.
No,
It,
I don't think
and
so either.
it's crazy to me how people could perceive things that when people want to do things for other people, that it's somehow selfish. It's about them. I'm like,
Exactly.
so I don't know. To me, he's a genius. To me, he's someone that really paved his own way. Like they were saying
Yes.
that he owed hella money to the IRS due to his music career prior to Fresh Prince, and that for the first 3 seasons, he had to give up 70% of his paycheck to pay back the IRS. So like he really did come from nothing and made his way to the top on his own just by not giving up,
That's
you know.
amazing.
So it's just like to me it's like with humble beginnings, and that's why I feel like he really does appreciate where he is now. And I think that regardless of what happened at the what was it? The not the Grammys, but the Oscars. I think that it just shows that we're not all perfect. We all have things that we have to deal with, you
Yeah,
know? And I mean, he's human,
he is.
you know?
Think about how quickly we would be canceled. Not to say he was canceled. Think about how we would
Hmm.
be looked at doing some of the things we do, but like cameras are watching us. Like
Hmm.
he had his
Oh,
breaking point and he
totally.
snapped. So yeah.
Absolutely. And I don't know, I can't wait to see more of what's his last name? Ribeiro? Is that his
Yeah.
name? I don't know. And I love him on is he still on Dancing with the Stars?
I thought he was.
He is, right? I think he is
Yeah.
the main host with
Yeah.
I can't
Julianne
remember.
Hough.
Yeah, I just love him. And I can't wait to see because I really feel like that was his turning point too. Because he, like I said, he did America's Funniest Home Videos. But then when he started Dancing with the Stars and he did that show where he was actually dancing, I think that just everybody fell in love with him all over again.
Yeah. Yeah,
He warms. He's another one. I just want to put him in a bottle.
I do too. He's so absolutely delicious. Love him, love
Yeah.
him, love him.
Yeah, and love this show. I can't wait to see what we talk about next week, though, because
Yeah,
we're
me
on our freaking roll.
too. 90s shows, you know
Yes.
it. We love
Hmm.
it. Hope you do
Totally.
too.
Yeah, for real. You have anything else, Steph?
No, I just want to go ahead and re-binge this show now that we've gotten all like cozy about it.
I know, right? For real.
I want
Maybe
to get
on
a
Wednesday when the
blanket.
atmospheric river comes
Shit. You know, at the rate that I'm
comes
going
on
with
in.
Fuller, yeah, I'm gonna finish Fuller House like any minute now. So I might start rewatching this. Like it's
Aw.
just such a timeless show. So hopefully you guys enjoyed our little recap because and if you haven't seen it, hopefully this recap will make you want to go see it. And if you've
Yeah.
seen it, hopefully it made you want to go look at it again because it's so good.
Amen. No, for sure. Well, I'm good, Steph. I'm content with this episode, and I can't wait to listen to it again.
Amazing. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. Don't forget to tune in on Friday for Fridays with Neen. Fridays with Neen. Every day is Fridays with
Wow,
Neen.
wow.
And we're going to go ahead and catch you on that flip side.
Oh yeah. Peace out, buddies.